Hello, everyone. This is Faye, and of course, I sell Medicare plans. So I am here because I am at that point in my career where I am helping others to sell Medicare plans. And today, I want to help everyone who's starting in this business to know and be comfortable with helping your customer to choose the right plan. That is one of the questions that I've had so often. And in the last few weeks, I've had this question so many times that I thought, well, you know what? The best way to handle this and the best way to help as many people as possible is to answer it for everyone. So now this is the process that I use, and it's been working for over 20 years. So use what you can of what I'm going to offer. It'll be step by step. So where you need to change, go ahead and do that. So how is it that you really come to that one offer out of many plans and many carriers, that one offer that you're going to present to your customer? How do you reach that point? How do you get there? How do you score that touchdown? How do you actually decide what that plan should be? It all starts back at the very, very beginning. Of course, with the Medicare, you need to have permission to call. So, however you accomplish that, that's fine. We're not going into that in this session. But now you have permission to call the person. You've been in touch with them, and you want to do a needs analysis. A needs analysis. That's NEADS. So for those of you who have not started your conversations by doing a needs analysis, personally, I feel that you're missing a lot of information that you're going to need to help that customer with choosing the right program. So the needs analysis, and by the way, if you do not have a step-by-step needs analysis, I encourage you to check the information below, and you can order the 5 things that you need to know, which is an ebook of the needs analysis that's available to you complimentary from me, so that you can work on getting that needs analysis in your head. So first thing you're going to want to know is, what is it that they have now? Now, this could be a person who's turning 65, so they don't have a Medicare program. That's okay. It doesn't matter. You still want to know what it is that they have now. Why do you want to know what they have now? It's like when you're going on a trip and you want to use GPS, which is what this is going to be for you and for them. You got to know where you're starting from. The GPS needs to know your current location. So you need to know what it is they have now. Even if they do not have a Medicare plan at the moment, it's someone who's aging in, someone who's getting Medicare for the first time, that's okay. Because if you find out what they have currently, an employer plan, they have a marketplace plan, or they have no plan, you know what they know about health insurance and how health insurance works. So if it's an employer plan, it's probably going to be an HMO or PPO. That helps you right away, because now you know if they have an HMO, when you talk to them about health maintenance organization, which is what HMO stands for, they're going to understand what you're saying. Or if they have a PPO currently, then they're going to understand what you mean about in-network and out-of-network, what you mean about co-pays. So find out first what it is they have now. And if they have a Medicare plan, you might even want to ask them to take a picture of their card, or if you're with them, take a picture of their card, because the card is going to tell you exactly the Medicare plan that they have currently. That's equally important to know when you're trying to narrow down what's going to be better than what they have. The next question that you're going to ask is the E in needs. What is it that they enjoy about what they have now? What is it that they like? And when they tell you what they like, they're going to also tell you what they don't like. So listen very carefully. Ask questions. If you hear an answer, ask another question. If they ask you a question, ask another question. You want to know what it is that they really, really like about what they have so that you better understand what it is you need to find for them. The next letter is the A, alter. What would they change? If they could write their own plan, what would they write? How would they set the plan up? What would they be looking for? What would they change from what they currently have to where they're going? This is where they're going to tell you they need to save money. They may be coming from original Medicare where they're paying for a supplement. So they need to save $300 a month. You don't know, but you're going to ask those questions. What would they change if they could? They may not like the fact that now they have an HMO and they have to get a referral. So now you know to look for a PPO. So ask the question, ask questions. You're not saying anything at this point except, yes, I understand. That's a good question. Agreeing with the customer, you're doing a discovery and you're getting the answers that you need. The next one is decision. Who helps that individual to make their decision? Do they make their decisions or do they ask their pastor or do they ask their daughter? Or does their son handle all of their things? Or do they have to wait for the spouse to come home to make a decision? You want to know who's the decision maker because you want that person in your next appointment with them. You want that person to be there so they can hear what you're going to offer. Now, going through this process, it's more than one visit or more than one conversation with the person. It's not a one-call close. You can do one-call closes when you get really, really good at what you're doing and you know how to find these plans and you know which plans in your area or in the area where the person is works best. You're going to know all this because the more you do the plans, the more you go through the plans, the more you go through the carriers, you're going to know the differences and the nuances in how different carriers handle different benefits. But when you're starting out, you may need to do a 2-call close or a 2-person visit. So this is all in your first visit. Now that you have the information, you know what they have now, you know what they like, you know what they would change, you know who makes the decision. Now you're going to summarize what the person has said to you. And you're going to be careful to use words that the individual has used. Why? Because you are not selling them anything. You're only confirming what they told you. So you would say things like, well, Miss Faye, if I heard what you said that you need to save the money that you're paying. You're paying out a lot of money and it's becoming expensive and you're on a fixed income. If I heard you correctly, you said that your doctor is leaving the area and you need new doctors and you have not been able to find a plan. You like the plan that you have, but you haven't been able to find a doctor. Or you have a doctor and you can't find a plan that matches that doctor. So whatever it is that they said to you, you're going to repeat back to them. Now, once you have that all done, and during this whole conversation, which although this is a longer time period, this conversation should probably take you about 10 minutes, no longer than 10 minutes, maybe less. Because once you know what you're going to ask, the questions you're going to ask, you can go through them. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. But now you're going to say to them, okay, so in order for me to talk to you about specific benefits, I need to have what's called a scope of appointment. Medicare, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, requires that you give me permission to talk to you about specific benefits. And I want to find the plan that is going to answer the needs that you've given me and help you to solve those problems that are bothering you right now. So in order to do that, I need a scope of appointment. Now, here's where if you are in person or you're on the phone, it's going to be handled differently, but you need a scope of appointment. You can do your scope of appointment however you choose to do the scope of appointment. Now, with the scope of appointment, you're going to need to have the date of your appointment. Again, this is basically for those of you who are just starting in the Medicare sales space. So sometimes you may need the 48 hours because you got to dig and there are things that you don't know. And then other times you're going to have the answer for them the next day. But do the scope of appointment and allow yourself the whole 48 hours if you need it. Make plan for your next appointment to be 2 days, 3 days out. Go ahead, set the date, get your scope of appointment. Plan to call them back. If there are any questions you don't understand, ask now. Now you got your scope of appointment. Say, now, by the way, there are some other things that I'm going to need to make sure that I can find the plan that's going to present to you the solutions you're looking for. So who's your primary care doctor? Do you have any other doctors, any specialists that are absolutely important to you? And what about prescriptions? Do you have a list of your prescriptions? Let me get a list of your prescriptions so that I can put them into my system and I'll be able to let you know how those prescriptions will be covered. So now you got all the information you need. Now go home and do your homework. Go and do your homework. Your homework now starts with, first of all, the plan that they have now. So the plan that they have now is, let's say, a Humana plan, and it's a Gold Plus plan, and it's an HMO. So go to the Humana site, put in their zip code, pull up the plan, look for the summary of benefits, open it up, read it, understand it, know the ins and outs of that plan. Again, you're starting on a trip and you know where you're starting from. So this is what you're starting from, what they have now. The next step in choosing what are you going to offer them is what plans are you actually ready to sell? What plans are you contracted and certified? It doesn't make sense for you to look through 52 different plans if you only are contracted with 2 or 3 carriers. And if you are just starting, that's my very strongest suggestion to you. Have 3 national carriers that you can work with. Learn their plans, because within their plans, they're going to have, in some areas, 14 different plans, 14 different MAPD plans. So you need to work with about 3. Don't try to work with 22, and don't try to work with 40 states initially. You're just starting. Now, you can do this as fast as you want to, or as fast as you can get yourself up to speed and as much time as you put into it. So 3 months from now, you could be doing all of that, but we're just starting. So where you're just starting, now you know what carriers you can offer. So you're going to compare in that plan, in that for that carrier, the plans that are of the same type as the one that the person has. And if they have no plan, just remember the HMO plan, although it's all in network, it's going to have the lowest out-of-pocket cost for your customer. There are some other keys to remember, like if someone's coming from original Medicare and a supplement, to jump them all the way to an HMO is like going from crawling to driving a car. and you really want to go from crawling to walking. So you would offer them a PPO. So now that you know the type plan that you're going to offer, you narrowed it down to the carriers that you can offer. Look in that carrier's website for the plan that most closely resembles the plan that the person has, but offers them better benefits or more benefits. There are platforms that you can use, and it all depends on how you are connected through your carrier. You can use the carrier site, you can use Medicare.gov, you can use Sunfire, you can use Connecture, you can use Medicare Center. It all depends on what you have at your disposal. But those are the platforms that you're going to look to actually run a side-by-side comparison of the plan that the person has, if they have Medicare already, and the plan that you're going to choose. But you may have to go to the carrier site to eliminate, because one carrier may have 4 HMO plans in the area, but the doctor that they want may only be in 2 or 1, or may not be in any. So those are the things that you're going to look for in order to put it all together and narrow it down to one. I am offering a mentoring program, and it's much, much less. You don't have to worry about the cost of coaching. If you've been to my website, you know what the cost of coaching is. It's not anywhere near the cost of coaching. If you're interested in being and having me as your mentor, then just direct mail me through, or direct message me, I'm sorry, through Facebook, or send me an email, and my information is listed below so you can find me. And don't forget, I'm Faye, and I sell Medicare plans, and this is just to help you to get to the point where you know what to offer and how to reach that point. Thank you so much. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to tell you. When you decide on the plan for the person that will work based on the information they've given you, you should remember, as well as let your customer know, that they're not married to that plan for the rest of their lives. Plans change annually, and make sure that they know that you will be in touch with them during the AEP in order to review what they have and see if anything has changed, because changes will come about for the next year, and see if that plan still works or if they need another plan. Thank you again. Have a great day.